Hey everybody, welcome in. Today's probably going to be a little bit of a short stream because I got company over. Well, I don't, but my roommate has company over and I want to hang out with them. Meow. Yeah. I hope everyone's having a good weekend though. If you're in America, it's a nice short week or a long weekend. Don't hear a song yet. It says it's playing. Might be at a low volume, but there should be music. Strongly encourage touching grass. Yeah, I need to do more of that. Probably. I did go and see Project Hail Mary today, though. That was really, really fucking good. Um, I read the book a couple of years ago, and it was very good. It was nice to see the movie do it justice. They did a very good job with it. If you enjoy sci-fi, like kind of uplifting sci-fi, highly recommend. It's a good story. Yeah. If you don't hear a song though, that's troubling because it definitely should be playing. Although I'm gonna be turning it off here soon because like I don't need music with the book. But yeah. Um, I don't know. It's been a weird week. My mood has been kind of shit for the last week, to be honest. But it is what it is. I'm really happy to be streaming though. It's usually a fun time. So, anyone got any plans for tomorrow? Nice day off. I don't think I'm doing anything. It's going to be raining all day tomorrow, so like I'm literally just going to be sitting inside playing video games probably. More rigging tomorrow? Ooh, hell yeah. I can't wait to see your new model. That's going to be super super dope. Rigging forever, 2 million years rigging. Yeah, rigging is like that is rigging is a whole art form unto itself, like seriously. Like you look at the prices of VTuber models and stuff, and it's like, wow, that's insane. But like the amount of effort and work that goes into a proper VTuber model is honestly like impressive as shit. So best of luck with that, and I'm sure it's gonna come out fucking awesome. I gotta drive out of Oklahoma. I'm sorry. Like I've never driven across the Midwest, like the flatlands and stuff of this country, except for I drove from Austin, Texas to Charlottesville, Virginia once, and it's like a 22-hour drive. But I did most of the boring parts at night, so like I didn't get to see it, which is fine because it's just flat and boring. Um, but yeah, I hope your drive goes well, Twinkles. Miss flying ships with you. But yeah, seriously, can you hear the music? Like, can anyone hear the music, or is something broken? Like, I actually do need to know. You should be hearing "Little Dark Age" by MGMT. Have you checked over the Escape though, Twinkles? Like, it's pretty good shape. I mean, you said it was like it's New Mexico car or whatever. But yeah, I have not really been doing anything exciting. Although I did help my roommate install a new oven upstairs, and I sliced the shit out of the palm of my hand doing so. So that's going to be a lot of fun to deal with. I hear the faintest drum beats. Oh, maybe I need to turn it up. Hmm. Hmm. I wondered why nobody commented on the music last stream. Maybe it was just literally not audible to y'all. What about now? Car's flawless, only driven by an old lady with like 7,099 miles this year. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But yeah, I need to get the volume straightened out on the music, I guess, cuz like I want it to be audible but not like overwhelming, but I also do want it to be audible. Otherwise, there's no reason for me to play it. I'm just like stroking myself off with my own music. Now I can hear it. Hell yeah. Okay. Does it drown my voice out though? Do I need to be louder? Like let's get this figured out while we're here. I really wish it was possible to like do test streams without actually going live. Like you could do like a I don't know, like a private session or something. I guess I could just do a test stream and actually just mark it as a test stream, but who knows? Nope. Nope, what? Nope, it doesn't drown my voice out or nope, you can't hear me anymore. uh I was going through my Spotify playlist, building a playlist for streams the other day, and I was like, just going through my library, and it was like, oh, all of these songs are so fucking depressing. Presuming every song has the same dynamic range, we'll find out. I think I have the auto level volume thing on Spotify turned off, so I might need to turn that on. But we'll see. But yeah, I was just going through my library and it was just like, oh, this all of these are songs to like slit your wrists to, which probably says more about me than I would like it to. Let's see if we can auto level the volume. Let's see. Set the same level for all songs and podcasts. Yeah, here we go. That's just made it quieter. Damn it. You know what? I'm turning it off. Fuck off. If a song is too quiet, just let me know. Balance good, presuming every song has the same. Yeah. We shall see. I guess we'll find out. Like I said, I'm going to be turning off the music soon anyway, so you know y'all can enjoy the book without fucking weird songs. um, but yeah, no. Project Hail Mary was super good. I really enjoyed the book, so I'm always like um kind of thanks. My brain just shut down and I can't think of words anymore. Um, I always have like trepidation about going to see movies based on books because I really enjoy reading, obviously, and if the book doesn't or if the movie doesn't like measure up to the book or they like cut too much out or change too many things, it really bothers me. But with Project Hail Mary, they did a good job. They had to cut a lot out because otherwise the movie would have been like 4 hours long instead of 2.5 hours long, which is already pretty long. But um, I think they did it. They struck a good balance, and the story itself is good. Um, yeah, I laughed, I cried. It was a good time. But yeah, I think I've wasted 15 minutes just bullshitting. I should get to the reading since, as I said, probably going to be a shorter stream. Uh, trying to go touch some grass or something. Oh no, someone died. What? Oh, the song. Yeah, remember this meme? Some when was this fucking meme anyway? Like 2018 or something? 2019? 2020? I don't remember anymore. Time hasn't really like time hasn't seemed real since 2020. Like I swear it's just not. Things have been fucked. Like the other day it was like, yeah, it's 2026. Okay, cool. And then my brain did the thing where it's like, wait, 2020, that means 2020 was 6 years ago. And I just had to like go stare at a wall for a few minutes because what the fuck? 6 years? Are you kidding me? Coffin Dance was 2020. Okay. So yeah, enjoy a classic. Hi Boater, welcome in. We're doing an ennui stream apparently. Sorry. My honestly my mood has been really low for the last well, like 6 months, but like the last week for whatever reason has been really shitty, and sorry if that's kind of crossing over into this stream a little bit, but um I don't know. It'll get better, probably. I noticed. Yeah. Yeah. My bad. I try to say la vie. Yeah, she caught a good eye, It is what it is. But try to have a nice, chill time. Enjoy the book. You know, it's not all bad. Oh, the I noticed was this being an ennui stream. Yeah, yeah. You good? Yeah, you know. Life ain't all beer and strippers, my friend, as the bumper sticker says. Uh, damn. We're 20 minutes in and I haven't read the book yet. But I hope everyone's been having a good week. Like, Fish went and picked up a new oven for his kitchen upstairs, which is rad because that oven's been broken for like 3 years. So now he can cook things without using my oven. Hi, Pancake. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. You haven't missed any of the book yet. I've been yapping and you know. Yay, new oven. Yeah, it's kind of fancy. It's that 70s like appliance color. It's like kind of a copper bronzish color back when things used to come in colors that weren't just black and white. Just got off the phone with mom. Yapping is good. Hell yeah. Hope she's doing well. Dope. Yeah. Got a matching stovetop with it too. Range, I guess that's called. You don't need an oven. That's just big kitchen appliance lying to you. I don't know, man. Ovens kind of come in handy sometimes. Like I predominantly use my toaster oven because I'm a fucking like absolute bachelor slob and I make a lot of things that just fit in a toaster oven and I don't make a lot of big meals, but having a full-size oven is kind of nice sometimes, not gonna lie. Where did he find them? Somebody was selling them on like Facebook or something. Not even selling them. I think they were giving them away. But he had to drive all the way to Virginia Beach to get them. So that's what he was doing most of yesterday. I would have gone with him, but I was busy. And by busy, I mean asleep. I don't think I got out of bed until like 2 o'clock yesterday. And I didn't get out of bed until 12:30 today, which was a mistake, honestly. My shoulder is pissed at me. I slept way too long. There's no winning once you get over 30. You either sleep too little and are exhausted, or you sleep too long and your body hates you. Better to just not sleep at all, really. I'm kidding. For the purposes of this stream, that was a joke. Also, nah, I'm not even gonna say that. that's that's an inside thought. Embrace sleep anarchy. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We should probably get to the book, I suppose. You know, I think that's what most people showed up here for. Nah, I love what bits I get. Took a nap at 9 p.m. Yeah. I mean, sleep is pretty great. That's why I've been doing so much of it lately. But it's also like anytime I wake up after about 10 a.m., I feel like a complete piece of shit. Like I've just wasted the whole day. Even though my natural sleep cycle is like don't fall asleep until 4 in the morning. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just built different incorrectly. Like, there's no winning. I go to sleep at the time that my brain is happy to go to sleep, and then it wakes up and is angry at itself for like sleeping too late. And it's like, but bro, we were up when the sun came up, so really we should be sleeping more. And it's like, no, no, it's afternoon. We're pieces of shit. Fucking Protestant work ethic be like, I suppose. I don't know. Nobody is I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling. I shouldn't have drank so much before stream. I mean, same. Yeah. I'm just kind of rattling to myself. But I swear we will actually get to the book like now. So let's pause the music and get to the book. Last time we were here last week, the dragon the dragon is here, and it settled some scores, especially with the elucidated brethren. They almost all of them are now uh, broken down into their atomic particles, I think. So like, well, I guess we're about to find out what happened to the rest of them. Apart from the Supreme Grand Master, the only elucidated brother to be away at the time of the dragon was Brother Fingers. He'd been sent out for some pizzas. Brother Fingers was always the one sent out for takeaway food. It was cheaper. He'd never bothered to master the art of paying for things. Got that 5 finger discount. When the guards rolled up just behind Errol, Brother Fingers was standing with a stack of cardboard boxes in his hands and his mouth open. Where the dread portal should have been was a warm, melted patch of assorted substances. Oh my goodness, said Lady Ramkin. Oh, you know what? I should make the book appear. That way people know it's book time. Vimes slid down from the coach and tapped Brother Fingers on the shoulder. Excuse me, sir, he said. Did you by any chance see what. When Brother Fingers turned towards him, his face was the face of a man who has hang glided over the entrance to hell. He kept opening and shutting his mouth, but no words were coming out. Vimes tried again. The sheer terror frozen in Brother Fingers' expression was getting to him. If you would be so kind to accompany me to the yard, said Vimes, I have reason to believe that you. He hesitated. He wasn't entirely certain what it was that he had reason to believe, but the man was clearly guilty. You could tell just by looking at him. Not, perhaps, guilty of anything specific, just guilty in general terms. Mm, said Brother Fingers. Sergeant Colin gently lifted the lid of the top box. "What do you make of it, Sergeant?" said Vimes, stepping back. Uh, it looks like a Clatchy and Hots with anchovies, sir," said Sergeant Colin knowledgeably. "I mean the man," said Vimes wearily. "Mm-hmm," said Brother Fingers. Colin peered under the hood. "Oh, I know him, sir," he said. "Benji Lightfoot Bogus, sir. He's a capo de monte in the Thieves' Guild. I know him of old, sir. Sly little bugger. Used to work at the university." "What, as a wizard?" said Vimes. "Odd job man, sir. Gardening and carpentry and that." "Oh, did he? Can't we do something for the poor man?" said Lady Ramkin. Nobby saluted smartly. "I could kick him in the bollocks for you if you like, milady." "That," said Brother Fingers, beginning to shake uncontrollably, while Lady Ramkin smiled the iron-hard blank smile of a high-born lady who is determined not to show that she has understood what has just been said to her. "Put him in the coach, you two," said Vimes. "If it's all right with you, Lady Ramkin." "Sybil," corrected Lady Ramkin. Vimes blushed and plunged on. "It might be a good idea to get him indoors. Charge him with the theft of one book, to wit, the summoning of dragons." "Right you are, sir," said Sergeant Colin. "Pizzas are getting cold, too. You know how the cheese goes all manky when it gets cold." "And no kicking him either," Vimes warned. "Not even where it doesn't show. Carrot, you come with me." Brother Fingers volunteered. "And take Errol," added Vimes. "He's driving himself mad here. Game little devil, I'll give him that." "Marvelous, when you come to think about it," said Colin. Errol was trotting up and down in front of the ravaged building, whining. "Look at him," said Vimes. "Can't wait to get to grips." His gaze found itself drawn, as though by wires, up to the rolling clouds of fog. "It's in there somewhere," he thought. "What we going to do now, sir?" said Carrot, as the carriage rattled off. "Not nervous, are you?" said Vimes. "No, sir." The way he said it jogged something in Vimes's mind. "No," he said. "You're not, are you? I suppose it's being brought up by the dwarfs that did it. You've got no imagination." "I'm sure I try to do my best, sir," said Carrot firmly. "Still sending your pay home to your mother?" "Yes, sir." "You're a good boy." "Yes, sir." "So what are we going to do, Captain Vimes?" Carrot repeated. Vimes looked around him. He walked a few aimless, exasperated steps. He spread his arms wide and then flopped them down by his sides. "How should I know?" he said. "Warn people, I guess. We'd better get over to the patrician's palace. And then—" There were footsteps in the fog. Vimes stiffened, put his finger to his lips, and pulled Carrot into the shelter of a doorway. A figure loomed out of the billows. "Another one of 'em," thought Vimes. "Well, there's no law about wearing long black robes and deep cowls. There could be dozens of perfectly innocent reasons why this person is wearing long black robes and a deep cowl and standing in front of a melted down house at dawn. Perhaps I should ask him to name just one." He stepped out. "Excuse me, sir," he began. The cowl swung around. There was a hiss of indrawn breath. I just wonder if you would mind. After him, Lance Constable. The figure had a good start. It scuttled along the street and had reached the corner before Vimes was halfway there. He skidded around it in time to see a shape vanish down an alley. Vimes realized he was running alone. He panted to a halt and looked back just in time to see Carrot jog gently around the corner. What's wrong? He wheezed. Sergeant Colin said I wasn't to run, said Carrot. Vimes looked at him vaguely. Then slow comprehension dawned. Oh, he said. See. I don't think he meant it in every circumstance, lad. He stared back into the fog. Not that we had much of a chance in this fog and these streets. Might have been just an innocent bystander, sir, said Carrot. What, in Ankh-Morpork? Pork? Yes, sir. We should have grabbed him then, just for the rarity value, said Vimes. He patted Carrot on the shoulder. Come on, we'd better get along to the patrician's palace. The king's palace, corrected Carrot. What? Said Vimes, his train of thought temporarily shunted. It's the king's palace now, said Carrot. Vimes squinted sideways at him. He gave a short, mirthless laugh. Yeah, that's right, he conceded. Our dragon-killing king. Well done, that man. He sighed. They're not going to like this. They didn't. None of them did. The first problem was the palace guard. Vimes had never liked them. They'd never liked him. Okay, so maybe the rank were only one step away from petty scofflaws, but in Vimes's professional opinion, the palace guard these days were only one step away from being the worst criminal scum the city had ever produced. A step further down. They'd have to reform a bit before they could even be considered for inclusion in the 10 most unwanted list. They were rough. They were tough. They weren't the sweepings off the gutter. They were what you still found sticking to the gutter when the gutter sweepers had given up in exhaustion. They had been extremely well paid by the patrician, and presumably were extremely well paid by someone else now. Because when Vimes walked up to the gates, a couple of them stopped lounging against the walls and straightened up while still maintaining just the right amount of psychological slouch to cause maximum offense. Twinkles. No, Vimes. Tell us how you really feel. Yeah, right. Look, he just really fucking hates plumes and helmets, okay? Captain Vimes, said Vimes, staring straight ahead. To see the king. It's of the utmost importance. Yeah, well, it'd have to be, said a guard. Captain Slimes, was it? Vimes, said Vimes evenly, with a V. He's met army gate guards, clearly. Yeah. One of the guards nodded to his companion. Vimes, he said, with a V. Fancy, said the other guard. It's most urgent, said Vimes, maintaining a wooden expression. He tried to move forward. The first guard sidestepped neatly and pushed him sharply in the chest. No one is going nowhere, he said. Orders of the king, see? So you can push off back to your pit, Captain Vimes with a V. It wasn't the words which made up Vimes's mind. It was the way the other man sniggered. Stand aside, he said. The guard leaned down. Who's going to make me? He, he rapped on Vimes's helmet. Copper. There are times when it is a veritable pleasure to drop the bomb right away. Lance Constable Carrot, I want you to charge these men, said Vimes. Carrot saluted. Very good, sir, he said, and turned and trotted smartly back the way they had come. Hey! Shouted Vimes as the boy disappeared around a corner. That's what I like to see, said the first guard, leaning on his spear. That's a young man with initiative, that young man. A bright lad. He doesn't want to stop along here and have his ears twisted off. That's a young man who's going to go a long way, if he's got any sense. Very sensible, said the other guard. He leaned the spear against the wall. You watchmen make me want to throw up, he said conversationally. Pouncing around all the time, never doing a proper job of work, throwing your weight about as if you counted for something. So me and Clarence are going to show you what real guarding is all about. Isn't that right? Twinkle. Needs a good running start to get a good charge. Hey, no spoilers. I could just about manage one of them, Vimes thought, as he took a few steps backward. If he was facing the other way, at least. Clarence propped his spear against the gateway and spat on his hands. There was a long, terrifying ululation. Ululation? That's a horrible word. Vimes was amazed to realize it wasn't coming from him. I gave a rhino a credit card once. I know what happens. Oh, wow. That's terrible. Carrot appeared around the corner at a dead run. He had a felling axe in either hand. Weirdly, this is not the first time I have heard the word ululate today. Really? It's a word that appears, I think, only whenever I read this book and never anywhere else. Thankfully, because, like, Jesus, it's a terrible word. We watched The Mummy. Is it in The Mummy? The first Mummy movie? With closed captions. Oh, yeah, yeah. Probably at like the beginning of the movie. Yeah, I think I do remember that from the last time I watched it with captions on. Beginning of the movie, or yeah, yeah, beginning of the movie, and maybe like the boat attack scene. I heard invigilate today as well. The English should not be allowed to form language. Very true. Which is funny because it is something women do, not men. Is it? Is ululate literally just a woman thing? What? Now I'm curious. Now I have to look this up. In the Middle East generally. Uh, yes, in the Middle East, it is primarily done by women at weddings, graduations, and funerals. But it's also known in Africa, Central and South Asia, and the origins of the word come from Latin, so like it's just kind of been a thing. Nah, that thing that Muslim prayer callers do is ululations. Yeah. It is performed as a form of expression across various cultures, often during celebratory events, times of intense mourning, or religious rituals. Neat. It's the Tarzan cry. Yeah, basically. Nifty. Hey, the more you know. The more you know. Anyway. Sorry, just stared off into space there for a second. Carrot appeared around the corner at a dead run. He had a felling axe in either hand. His huge leather sandals flapped on the cobblestones as he bounded closer, accelerating all the time. And all the time there was this cry, dee da, dee da, dee da, dee da, like something caught in a trap at the bottom of a two-tone echo canyon. Anyway, now that we destroyed the tension. Yeah, exactly. It's fine. The two palace guards stood rigid with astonishment. I should duck if I was you, said Vimes, from near ground level. The two axes left Carrot's hands and whirred through the air, making a noise like a brace of partridges. One of them hit the palace gate, burying half the head in the woodwork. The other one hit the shaft of the first one and split it. Then Carrot arrived. Vimes went and sat down on a nearby bench for a while and rolled himself a cigarette. Eventually, he said, I think that's about enough, Constable. I think they'd like to come quietly now. Yes, sir. What are they accused of, sir? Said Carrot, holding one limp body in either hand. Assaulting an officer of the watch in the execution of his duty and, oh yes, resisting arrest. Under Section 7 of the Public Order Act of 1457, said Carrot. Yes, said Vimes solemnly. Yes, yes, I suppose so. But they didn't resist very much, sir, Carrot pointed out. Well, attempting to resist arrest. I should just leave them over by the wall until we come back. I don't expect they'll want to go anywhere. Right you are, sir. Don't hurt them, mind, said Vimes. You mustn't hurt prisoners. That's right, sir, said Carrot conscientiously. Prisoners, once charged, have rights, sir. It says so in the Dignity of Man, Civic Rights Act of 1341. I keep telling Corporal Nobbs. They have rights, I tell him. This means you do not put the boot in. Very well put, Constable. Carrot looked down. You have the right to remain silent, he said. You have the right not to injure yourself falling down the steps on the way to the cells. You have the right not to jump out of high windows. You do not have to say anything, you see, but anything you do say, well, I have to take it down, and it might be used in evidence. He pulled out his notebook and licked his pencil. He leaned down further. Pardon, he said. He looked up at Vimes. How do you spell groan, sir? He said. Grone, I think. Very good, sir. Oh, and Constable? Yes, sir. Why the axes? They were armed, sir. I got them from the blacksmith in Market Street, sir. I said you'd be along later to pay for them. And the cry? Said Vimes weakly. Dwarfish war yodel, sir, said Carrot proudly. It's a good cry, said Vimes, picking his words with care. But I'd be grateful if you'd warn me first another time, all right? I don't know how I'm supposed to make that like war cry into something intimidating, honestly, but maybe if I could actually scream it. Certainly, sir. In writing, I think. The librarian swung on. It was slow progress, because there were things he wasn't keen on meeting. Creatures evolved to fill every niche in the environment, and some of those in the dusty immensity of L space were best avoided. They were much more unusual than ordinary unusual creatures, like a Belgian police siren from the diaphragm. Yeah, that's kind of basically what I was imagining, like a European police siren. Belgian, yeah, I know exactly the one you're talking about. Sadly, there are like other people in the house, and I cannot uh, go from the diaphragm. I need to move. Maybe once I if I move my desk into like the mud room or something, the only room that I have that's like isolated from the rest of the house, then I could be almost as loud as I want. I might do that someday. There's too many windows in that room though, and the internet's far away. Sirens here are so cute. Yeah, yeah. European emergency sirens are always like, I don't know. They just don't sound serious about it, you know? Like they're having a laugh. Usually, he could forewarn himself by keeping a careful eye on the kickstool crabs that grazed harmlessly on the dust. When they were spooked, it was time to hide. They are very polite, yeah. Several times he had to flatten himself against the shelves as a thesaurus thundered by. He waited patiently as a herd of critters crawled past, grazing on the contents of the choicer books and leaving behind them piles of small, slim volumes of literary criticism. And there were other things, things which he hurried away from and tried not to look hard at. And you had to avoid cliches at all costs. He finished the last of his peanuts atop a stepladder, which was browsing mindlessly off the high shelves. The territory definitely had a familiar feel, or at least he got the feeling that it would eventually be familiar. Time had a different meaning in L space. There were shelves whose outline he felt he knew. The book titles, while still unreadable, held a tantalizing hint of legibility. Even the musty air had a smell he thought he recognized. He shambled quickly along a side passage, turned the corner, and, with only the slightest twinge of disorientation, shuffled into that set of dimensions that people, because they don't know any better, think of as normal. He just felt extremely hot, and his fur stood straight out from his body as temporal energy gradually discharged. He was in the dark. He extended one arm and explored the spines of the books by his side. Ah, now he knew where he was. He was home. He was home a week ago. It was essential that he didn't leave footprints, but that wasn't a problem. He shinned up the side of the nearest bookcase and, under the starlight of the dome, hurried onwards. Lupine once glared up, red eyed, from the heap of paperwork on his desk. No one in the city knew anything about coronations. He'd had to make it up as he went along. There should be plenty of things to waive. He knew that. Yes? He said abruptly. There's Captain Vimes to see you, said the flunky. Vimes of the watch? Yes, sir. Says it's of the utmost importance. Once looked down at his list of other things that were also of the utmost importance. Crowning the king, for one thing. The high priests of 53 religions were all claiming the honor. It was going to be a scrum. And then there were the crown jewels. Or rather, there weren't the crown jewels. Somewhere in the preceding generations, the crown jewels had disappeared. A jeweler in the street of cunning artificers was doing the best he could in the time with gilt and glass.
Vimes could wait. Tell him to come back another day, said Wance. Good of you to see us, said Vimes, appearing in the doorway. Wance glared at him. Since you're here, he said. Vimes dropped his helmet on Wance's desk in what the secretary thought was an offensive manner and sat down. Take a seat, said Wance. Have you had breakfast yet? Said Vimes. Now, really, Wance began. Don't worry, said Vimes cheerfully. Constable Carrot will go and see what's in the kitchens. This chap will show him the way. When they had gone, Wance leaned across the drifts of paperwork. There had better, he said, be a very good reason for the dragon is back, said Vimes. Wance stared at him for a while. Vimes stared back. Wance's senses came back from whatever corners they'd bounced into. You've been drinking, haven't you? He said. No, the dragon is back. Now, look, Wance began. I saw it, said Vimes flatly. A dragon? You're sure? Vimes leaned across the desk. No, I could be bloody mistaken, he shouted. It may have been something else with sodding great big claws, huge leathery wings, and hot, fiery breath. There must be masses of things like that. But we all saw it killed, said Wance. I don't know what we saw, said Vimes, but I know what I saw. He leaned back, shaking. He was suddenly feeling extremely tired. Anyway, he said, in a more normal voice, it's flamed a house in Bitwash Street, just like the other ones. Any of them get out? Vimes put his head in his hands. He wondered how long it was since he'd last had any sleep, proper sleep, the sort with sheets. Or food, come to that. Was it last night, or the night before? Had he ever, come to think of it, ever slept at all in all his life? It didn't seem like it. The arms of Morpheus had rolled up their sleeves and were giving the back of his brain a right pummeling, but bits were fighting back. Any of them get twinkles? Vimes hasn't been drinking? It is serious. Yeah, right. Damn, that's a whole ass mood. That whole paragraph is like, oh, I feel that, Vimes. Any of them get any of who? He said. The people in the house, of course, said Wance. I assume there were people in it. At night, I mean. Oh? Oh. Yes. It wasn't like a normal house. I think it was some sort of secret society thing, Vimes managed. Something was clicking in his mind, but he was too tired to examine it. Magic, you mean? Dunno, said Vimes. Could be. Guys in robes. He's going to tell me I've been overdoing it, he thought. He'll be right, too. Look, said Wance kindly. People who mess around with magic and don't know how to control it, well, they can blow themselves up and blow themselves up. And you've had a busy few days, said Wance soothingly. If I'd been if I'd been knocked down and almost burned alive by a dragon, I expect I'd be seeing them all the time. Vimes stared at him, with his mouth open. He couldn't think of anything to say. Whatever stretched and knotted elastic had been driving him along these last few days had gone entirely limp. You don't think you've been overdoing it, do you? Said Wance. Ah, thought Vimes. Jolly good. He slumped forward. The librarian leaned cautiously over the top of the bookcase and unfolded an arm into the darkness. There it was. His thick fingernails grasped the spine of the book, pulled it gently from its shelf, and hoisted it up. He raised the lantern carefully. No doubt about it. The Summoning of Dragons. Single copy, first edition, slightly foxed and extremely dragoned. He set the lamp down beside him and began to read the first page. Let's see, how much more do we have until the next break point? All right, yeah, we'll just read a few more pages. Mm-hmm, said Vimes, waking up. Bring you a nice cup of tea, Captain, said Sergeant Colin. And a figgin. Vimes looked at him blankly. You've been asleep, said Sergeant Colin helpfully. You was spark out when Carrot brought you back. Vimes looked around at the now familiar surroundings of the yard. Oh, he said. Me and Nobby have been doing some detectoring, said Colin. You know that house that got melted? Well, no one lives there. It's just rooms that get hired out. So we found out who hired them. There's a caretaker who goes along every night to put the chairs away and lock up. He wasn't half creating about it being burned down. You know what caretakers are like. He stood back, waiting for the applause. Well done, said Vimes dutifully, dunking the figgin into the tea. There are 3 societies use it, said Colin. He extracted his notebook. To wit, viz., the Ankh-Morpork Fine Art Appreciation Society, the Morpork Folk Dance and Song Club, and the Elucidated Brethren of the Ebon Night. Why said Vimes. Well, you know, fine art. It's just men painting pictures of young women in the nude. The altogether, explained Colin, the connoisseur. The caretaker told me. Some of them don't even have any paint on their brushes, you know. Shameful. There must be a million stories in the naked city, thought Vimes. So why do I always have to listen to ones like these? When do they meet? He said. Mondays, 7:30, admission 10 pence, said Colin promptly. As for the folk dance people, well, no problem there. You know you always wondered what Corporal Nobbs does on his evenings off. Colin's face split into a watermelon grin. It's the company you keep, Vimes. Sorry, bro. Yeah. No, said Vimes incredulously. Not Nobby. Yup, said Colin, delighted at the result. What, jumping about with bells on and waving his hanky in the air? He says it is important to preserve old folkways, said Colin. Nobby, Mr. Steel Toe Caps in the groin, I was just checking the door handle and it opened all by itself. Yeah, funny old world, ain't it? He was very bashful about it. Good grief, said Vimes. Ads in 30 seconds. Apologies. Actually, I think I can. Hang on. Yeah. I can just push those off until the end of the stream, I think. It just goes to show you never can tell, said Colin. Anyway, the caretaker said the elucidated brethren always leave the place in a mess. Scuffed chalk marks on the floor, he said, and they never put the chairs back properly or wash out the tea urn. They've been meeting a lot lately, he said. The nutty women painters had to meet somewhere else last week. What did you do with our suspect? Said Vimes. Him? Oh, he done a runner, Captain, said the sergeant, looking embarrassed. Why? He didn't look in any shape to run anywhere. Well, when we got back here, we sat him down by the fire and wrapped him up because he kept on shivering, said Sergeant Colin, as Vimes buckled his armor on. I hope you didn't eat his pizzas. Errol let him. It's the cheese, see? It goes all. Go on. Well, said Colin awkwardly. He kept on shivering, sort of thing, and groaning on about dragons and that. We felt sorry for him, to tell the truth. And then he jumps up and runs out of the door for no reason at all. Vimes glanced at the sergeant's big, open, dishonest face. No reason? He prompted. Well, we decided to have a bite, so I sent Nobby out to the baker's, see? And, well, we thought the prisoner ought to have something to eat. Yes, said Vimes encouragingly. Well, when Nobby asked him if he wanted his figgin toasted, he just give a scream and run off. Just that, said Vimes. You didn't threaten him in any way? Straight up, Captain. Bit of a mystery, if you ask me. He kept going on about someone called Supreme Grand Master. Vimes glanced out of the window. Gray fog lagged the world with dim light. What time is it? He said. 5 of the clock, sir. Right. Well, before it gets dark, Colin gave a cough. In the morning, sir. This is tomorrow, sir. You let me sleep all day? Didn't have the heart to wake you up, sir. No dragon activity, if that's what you're thinking. Dead quiet all round, in fact. Sorry. Vimes glared at him and threw the window open. The fog rolled in a slow, yellow-edged waterfall. That is some nasty fog. We reckon it must have flown away, said Colin's voice behind him. Vimes stared up into the heavy, rolling clouds. Hope it clears up for the coronation, Colin went on in a worried voice. You all right, sir? It hasn't flown away, Vimes thought. Why should it fly away? We can't hurt it, and it's got everything it wants right here. It's up there somewhere. You all right, sir? Colin repeated. It's got to be up high somewhere in the fog. There's all kinds of towers and things. What time's the coronation, Sergeant? He said. Noon, sir. And Mr. Wantz has sent a message about how you're to be in your best armor among all the civic leaders, sir. Oh, has he? And Sergeant Hummock and the day squad will be lining the route, sir. What with? Said Vimes vaguely, watching the skies. Sorry, sir? Vimes squinted upwards to get a better view of the roof. He said. I said they'll be lining the route, sir, said Sergeant Colin. It's up there, Sergeant, said Vimes. I can practically smell it. Yes, sir, said Colin obediently. It's deciding what to do next. Yes, sir? They're not unintelligent, you know. They just don't think like us. Yes, sir. So I'll be damned to any lining of the route. I want you three up on roofs, understand? Yes, sir. What? Up on the roofs. Up high. When it makes its move, I want us to be the first to know. Colin tried to indicate by his expression that he didn't. Do you think that's a good idea, sir? He ventured. Vimes gave him a blank look. Yes, Sergeant, I do. It was one of mine, he said coldly. Now go and see to it. When he was left to himself, Vimes washed and shaved in cold water, and then rummaged in his campaign chest until he unearthed his ceremonial breastplate and red cloak. Well, the cloak had been red once, and still was, here and there, although more of it resembled a small net used very successfully for catching moths. There was also a helmet, defiantly without plumes, from which the molecule-thick gold leaf had long ago peeled. He'd started saving up for a new cloak once. Whatever had happened to the money? There was no one in the guard room. Errol lay in the wreckage of the fourth fruit box Nobby had scrounged for him. The rest had all been eaten or had dissolved. In the warm silence, the everlasting rumbling of his stomach sounded especially loud. Occasionally, he whimpered. Vimes scratched him vaguely behind the ears. "What's up with you, boy?" he said. The door creaked open. Carrot came in, saw Vimes hunkered down by the ravaged box, and saluted. "We're a bit worried about him, Captain," he volunteered. "He hasn't eaten his coal. Just lies there twitching and whining all the time. You don't think something's wrong with him, do you?" "Possibly," said Vimes. "But having something wrong with them is quite normal for a dragon. They always get over it, one way or another." Errol gave him a mournful look and closed his eyes again. Vimes pulled his scrap of blanket over him. There was a squeak. He fished around beside the dragon's shivering body, pulled out a small rubber hippo, stared at it in surprise, and then gave it one or two experimental squeezes. "I thought it would be something for him to play with," said Carrot, slightly shamefaced. "You bought him a little toy?" "Yes, sir." "What a kind thought." Vimes hoped Carrot hadn't noticed the fluffy ball tucked into the back of the box. It had been quite expensive. Aw, they're buying toys for the dragon. He left the two of them and stepped into the outside world. Also, sorry if you can hear the dogs upstairs and stuff. One day I will insulate this fucking apartment. There was even more bunting now. People were beginning to line the main street, even though there were hours to wait. It was still very depressing. He felt an appetite for once, one that it'd take more than a drink or two to satisfy. He strolled along for breakfast at Harga's House of Ribs, the habit of years, and got another unpleasant surprise. Normally, the only decoration in there was on Sham Harga's vest, and the food was good, solid stuff for a cold morning. All calories and fat and protein, and maybe a vitamin crying softly because it was all alone. Now, laboriously made paper streamers crisscrossed the room, and he was confronted with a crayoned menu in which the words Coronation and Royal figured somewhere on every crooked line. Vimes pointed wearily at the top of the menu. "What's this?" he said. Harga peered at it. They were alone in the grease-walled cafe. "It says, by royal appointment, Captain," he said proudly. "What's it mean?" Harga scratched his head with a ladle. "What it means is," he said, "if the king comes in here, he'll like it." "Have you got anything that isn't too aristocratic for me to eat, then?" said Vimes sourly, and settled for a slice of plebeian fried bread and a proletarian steak cooked so rare you could still hear it bray. Vimes ate it at the counter. A vague scraping noise disturbed his thoughts. "What are you doing?" he said. Hargo looked up guiltily from his work behind the counter. Nothing, Captain, he said. He tried to hide the evidence behind him when Vimes glared over the knife-chewed woodwork. Come on, Sham. You can show me. Harga's beefy hands came reluctantly into view. I was only scraping the old fat out of the pan, he mumbled. I see. And how long have we known each other, Sham? Said Vimes with terrible kindness. Years, Captain, said Harga. You've been coming in here nearly every day, regular. One of my best customers. Vimes leaned over the counter until his nose was level with the squashy pink thing in the middle of Harga's face. And in all that time, have you ever changed the fat? He demanded. Harga tried to back away. Well, it's been like a friend to me, that old fat, said Vimes. There's little black bits in there I've grown to know and love. It's a meal in itself. And you've cleaned out the coffee jug, haven't you? I can tell. This is love in a canoe coffee if I ever tasted it. The other stuff had flavor. Well, I thought it was time. Why? Harga let the pan fall from his pudgy fingers. Well, I thought if the king should happen to come in. You're all mad. But, Captain. Vimes's accusing finger buried itself up to the second joint in Harga's expensive vest. You don't even know the wretched fellow's name, he shouted. Love in a canoe coffee. Yeah, it's fucking close to water. Harga rallied. I do, Captain, he stuttered. Of course I do. Seen it on the decorations and everything. He's called Rex Vivat. Okay. Very gently, shaking his head in despair, crying in his heart for the essential servility of mankind, Vimes let him go. Gonna stop there, actually. But yeah, Vimes has some fucking opinions about royalty. Um, the later book's gonna go into it even more, but yeah, he's got some family history with royalty. Um, Not a fan of it in general. Which, like, same, same. But yeah, good place to stop. Um, I hope everybody enjoyed the stream, even if it was a little short. I think I only read for like 45 minutes or so. Uh, did a lot of yapping at the start. Like, yeah, not a fan of it. Like, slugs aren't fans of salt. Yeah, that's about accurate. That's about accurate. Yeah, that was a good chill stream. I will be back on Tuesday or something. I'm not entirely sure yet what I'll be doing on Tuesday. Maybe Voices of the Void, maybe something else. Maybe I'll finally get Star Wars KOTOR 2 to work. Maybe I'll do more No, I'm Not a Human. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I might just yap a bit and then log off. But now I do actually want to try to do longer streams. Like a lot of my streams lately have been like an hour and a half. 2 hours at the most. And I do want to kind of bump that up. I would like to do like 2.5, 3 hour streams regularly because those kind of they tend to get more traction and stuff like that. It's just kind of better for the algorithm, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But also, I just enjoy streaming. It's a lot of fun hanging out with people, and like, if I could stretch that out longer and have more company, like, that'd be cool too. But yeah, enjoy the company. Take it easy tomorrow. Yeah. I'm gonna just go see if Fish needs any more help installing the oven. He probably doesn't, but
and maybe get some food because I don't think I've eaten today. I mean, we went to the theater and like it was so packed. We were already a little bit late, and the line was ridiculous to get popcorn and stuff. So this is the first time I've ever been to the movies and did not get popcorn or a drink or anything. And the movie was good enough; I didn't miss it. But like, damn, I wish I'd got some movie theater popcorn. His hands are made of blood by now. Facebook Marketplace ovens always have sharp. No, no, it's my hands that are made of blood. I sliced the shit out of the palm of my right hand, helping him install this oven into the cabinet because it's one of those like 70s like in the cabinet oven type deals. So yeah, it was my hands that got bloody uh this time. But like who knows? Maybe he got like electrocuted a little bit doing the wiring. I guess we'll find out. He hasn't been down to flip the breaker on, so honestly, that's a little worrisome. I should go figure out what's going on. But yeah, I will see you all Tuesday, probably at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, maybe at 8. I'm not 100% sure yet. Probably closer to 8, honestly. Giving myself a little bit of extra time after work and stuff is nice. There's not enough hours in the fucking day though. Like seriously. I might also start doing Friday streams, but not 100%. Who knows? We'll figure it out. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the book, and I hope you all have a lovely day tomorrow. If you have the day off, please do something fun and chill. Take care of yourselves. You know, I'll try to do the same.